Hey Rain, congrats on being first. How are you doing?
Basil.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey Coral. Welcome in Willow. Welcome in Rain. Hope everyone's doing well.
How are you?
I'm doing a-okay. I'm
Hello.
finally gonna make sub badges because I said I was gonna do that ages
Willow.
ago. And then life happened, but
Rain.
life is not currently happening. So I can make my stuff.
My leechy.
There's a stretch for anyone who want. I'm gonna take my meds right now. I've kept myself hydrated and my posture's good.
My lied. At Willow_WYLLT. How are you? Re-ai my beloved.
If I can find my ADHD meds. Hello.
Met-tai-aya. I am all sorry, Basil.
Oh
well,
my god!
I've once again been on the Minecraft beta grind.
Ooh! I remember doing the 404 challenge in like middle school and stuff. That was fun. We're all like around. I don't know how to explain this, but even though there are like age differences here, I feel like we are like kind of in the same. I feel like we've been on the same pace of like media consumption. You know what I mean? So, what was the patch where you started feeling like overwhelmed with Minecraft?
WYLLT. I miss playing
Everyone
Minecraft.
personally.
I fell out with the girl I was playing with recently.
Ah, dang, rip Aaron.
I might have been firster, but Twitch logged me out and somebody renamed their channel.
Yeah, and I'm gonna rename it again in about a month, Iron. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's gonna be Monochrome Basilia soon. Which has really grown on me. At first I was kind of
smell in the living room and I can't find it and I'm going insane.
Is it the creature? My first inclination is to point fingers at the creature.
ID say the ocean or nether updates.
Yeah. See, the ocean one didn't get me. I think the nether did.
No.
No, surprisingly? Do you think maybe the creature managed to kill something and left a little present? I've seen her. I mean, not I. I've heard of. You've seen her like chase things, but never catch them. But what if for once she caught one? But yeah, hey guys.
When the renaming function became a thing, I jumped on this name and somebody immediately messaged to ask if they could have it instead. Ooh. So I told them where to go.
Hell no. Yeah, my pipe dream now is to one day become
playing Minecraft
popular enough that I can just have the name.
I really wish she'd give it to me
Basilia.
So I can dispose of it.
Yeah, which is like what she's supposed to do, but I guess instincts can only do so much when you're but yeah, hey guys, I don't know. Words. Brains in a spot, because
the nail in the coffin is whatever update brought the Elytra.
That's
where it felt
yeah.
like the community shifted to a lot of weird optimization instead of full creativity and digging
because
around.
Post Elytra is also when speedrunning went like viral, right? So like that's definitely a factor too. You know what I mean? Like the timing of it is definitely a factor with that. Thanks, stream. But yeah, I don't know. My brain's kind of in a spot between, you know, mom stuff and just other brain things. I don't know why I'm sharing that, I just am. But we continue to vibe, and I'm very excited to come here and yap with you guys. I don't know, I've just been super I'm like a month late, or maybe more, probably over a month late to all the Tyler Catastrophe stuff. But I've been watching a lot of videos about him because it's one of those things where, like, because he posts or posted so much random shit. Genuinely, every video I've learned something new.
Tyler who now?
Oh, do you not know about Tyler Catastrophe?
Oh, what happened?
Do you guys not know about Tyler Catastrophe? Do I get to tell you about Tyler Catastrophe? It's like that thing from Family Guy. Okay, so...
Welcome to Lord Town Gang.
Okay.
The big thing recently to me has been the bricks and minifigs.
Okay, guys, so for this one, we're gonna go all the way back to Dream SMP. I'm not joking.
Can I ask for a minute to get
yes,
water?
You absolutely
I don't
can.
want to miss stuff.
Yapping and maybe if I don't. Hang on, I'll change my stream title and stuff. Oh man, Maddie's already heard me talk about this way too much, so shout outs to Mr. Many Jeff for sitting through this for like the 5th time.
At Willow_WYLLT, I swear my boy Philip DeFranco has covered that every day for weeks.
I've seen videos, but I haven't clicked on them. Let's check that out. Lego bricks and minifigs. Okay. Viral Lego case. Oh, the reseller. Oh. Okay. Did they scam someone?
Hey.
Hey, Lavender!
Okay, back, but yeah, there's so much.
Okay, so did Bricks and Minifigs scam the fuck out of someone? Okay, I'm reading a Reddit thread. Okay. Mansel's father amassed a large Lego Star Wars collection during his life. He planned to sell the collection later to provide for his grandchildren's education, and approached the local store to arrange a consignment agreement. Signed a consignment agreement in 2023. The Crystal Law Gorman is the one who made the agreement with the Mansell family, but another group of people, Best and Johnson, abruptly took over the franchise when the Gorman family announced that they planned to sell the store.
Okay, I'm back. Ow, that hurt.
Body cam footage? What? Hold up. Sorry, I'm looking up before we get into the Tyler Catastrophe, I'm looking at the Bricks and Minifigs shit. Oh my god, guys, I'm turning into a commentary streamer. Literal nightmare. Okay. Hang on. Bricks and Minifigs summary minus AI. Okay. So Brian Marshall gave away his Lego Star Wars collection, roughly estimated to be $200,000, to a Bricks and Minifigs store in Oregon. They agreed to put it on consignment. The original owners left and were replaced by new people who never looked at the consignment papers, so he never got his money. Brian tried to get his Lego collection back, but they refused or aren't sure where they put it? Oh... my god. Okay. So... did they... it sounds also, though, like... the collection was available for sale a year before the store changed hands.
What did I miss? I had to leave RQ.
I'm looking at the... while I was waiting for people to come back from various, like, snack and drink and bathroom grabs, I was looking up the Bricks and Minifig scandal. Yeah, it definitely sounds like it's... so I guess the TLDR of it is someone took over the Bricks and Minifig store and did not handle somebody's property correctly. But instead of being like, hey, that's our bad, instead of being like, hey...
best promotion on Streambook.
Fuck you.
Org.
And yeah, instead of being like, hey,
yeah,
we'll just give you the money that we legally owe you, or being able to give the collection back because they supposedly lost it or something or misplaced it. They, words. They were just like, yeah, fuck you. Which is crazy.
Basically bagged 100K worth of product after
Uh-huh.
ownership of a huge person's collection. A
Yeah.
YouTuber was basically recruited and he did a bunch
Mhm.
of random shit to try and get it back, and the police have been working so hard to try and stop any attempts even if it's lawful. Also a bit of
Oh, because it's
theorizing
fucking
that it's a
Utah.
conspiracy that the police and new owners are working together because they're
Yeah.
Mormon.
No,
Instead of giving collection back or paying up, they're
I'm not
throwing
even
lawsuits left and right.
I'm not even joking. That's barely a conspiracy theory. Y'all know I've done a lot of outsider, very amateur research on the Mormon Church, and yeah, they're like government involvement. They're like legislative, judicial
like
involvement.
Yeah,
in Utah is fucking crazy. Actually, what town in Utah is this store in?
Obviously, it won't be.
Yeah. No, see, that's the funny thing. I remember, I was talking to somebody, I cannot remember who it was, but they were saying that, I was complaining about how Oscar Isaac had gotten blacklisted from stuff after being outspoken about gay rights, and that's why, like, LGBT rights, and that's why season 2 of Moon Knight was canceled, and also a lot of bullshit with like the Star Wars sequel trilogy and stuff like that. And somebody was like, I can't find any information that says he's been officially blacklisted. And I was like, motherfucker, how do you think this works? It kind of vaguely reminded me of in high school when that guy shot up like 3 Asian nail salons. And this, I say this with empathy because this was a close friend of mine and she's very cool. This was said out of genuine ignorance, like not, you know what I mean? And we were like 17. But I just remember I was talking about it with 2 of my white friends, and I was talking about how worried I was about it and how I felt like the white students at our high school were not taking Stop Asian Hate as seriously as they could have, compared to, and then like also like it's not that it was much better compared to how seriously they took BLM, but like even compared to how not seriously they took BLM, they took Stop Asian Hate even less seriously. And I was talking about how frustrating that is, and how I understand that, like, obviously, like, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, and my friend looks at me and she goes, but the guy said that it wasn't race motivated, so it wasn't. And I was like, yeah, how do you believe that? How do you believe that? That's crazy to me, you know? Like, obviously, after I pointed out, I was like, he's obviously saying that to escape getting convicted of, like, a hate crime instead of just but, you know what I mean? She's like, oh, okay. But in my head, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, how do you... you know what I mean?
Heads up, I have you full screened on the PC and I can't read the names in fronting.
It's also not accurate, so that's awesome. I don't know why it keeps changing.
I mean, if someone told me the sky was green, I'd so believe it, cause why would someone lie about that?
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, I wish I could be blind to the world like that. But you know, but luckily, obviously, she was a very cool person. I was just very like quickly like, he's saying that to avoid a hate crime sentence. There's no other explanation for what he did. And she was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, because she was a very intelligent person. Still doing well as far as I know. So yay. But and obviously, like,
just holding the gun and it
every person that's in a minority has had that moment where somebody says something and you're just like, I did not realize that people could not know these things. You know what I mean? Like genuinely. Like, anyway. Where was I going with this? How did I get to that? Oh yeah, talking about things
that arrested multiple times, silenced legally so he couldn't talk about the situation, arrested at rifle gunpoint at his and his friend's Airbnb. Lots of corruption.
And it's crazy because, like, that's $200K. That's $20,000 they'd have to.
And a girl told me she thought gangs were a thing made up.
I have a really funny story about that, Rain. But I don't know that they're doing all that for $200K, and they're gonna have to turn around and give $20,000 of it to the Mormon Church before taxes.
WYLLT, didn't he also get his shoulder dislocated?
Yeah. I saw that one actually, like because of just how violently they like threw him around. I did see that. It's yeah, people are disgusting. But yeah, I remember I was one of my friends called me when she was going on a trip to the Smithsonian or something, or like after. She's like, yeah, there were these guys and they were like pretending to throw gangs. She was on the Washington DC Metro, like the subway, the train station, and the tube, and she was like, yeah, I don't know, there were these guys like pretending to throw gang signs at each other across the platforms, and I was like, what are you guys like pretending to be? Like, no one thinks that stuff's cool. And I was like,
honestly, them accepting / learning from their mistakes is the best hope.
And I was like, let me make up a fake name for her. Alice, they were actually in a gang. You were in Washington, D.C. They were actually in a gang. They weren't pretending to throw gang signs. They were throwing gang signs. And then she was like, those are like
I was on a coach
real
into
still?
London and the girl behind me said, you wouldn't think people actually live here, but they do.
What?
And she was a lot older than ought to be reasonable to think London is some kind of fantasy film set populated with extras like it is
Have
Disney
you guys seen that story of that girl who like set out to live a life good enough to write a fantasy like autobiography about, including going to like university in the UK and stuff like that? And like she threw like a book festival and it was a huge scam. I don't remember her name. I remember D'Angelo Wallace did a series on her. But yeah, I got here from.
I love your hair, BTW.
Thank you. But yeah, I got here from talking about yeah, like things that'll never be confirmed.
At iron people who haven't had the realization of Sonder.
But you know what it also reminds me of is the opposite of when people are like, oh yeah, there's this big conspiracy about the CIA, and I'm like, it's not a conspiracy. The CIA admitted it. The documents are public at CIA.gov. Like it's not even like it's not even like in the archives. It's like on the CIA website.
I want to color mine to cover all my gray, but my aunt would complain. BC, she's a retired hairdresser.
I will say,
LOL.
dyeing your hair gray never looks as good in real life as it does in pictures or video, because like real like natural gray is like a lack of melanin, right? And so like to get your hair to that point, it's one of those things where it just under like in real life it tends to look kind of wonky. I worked reception at a hair salon when I was like 15. That things might have changed by now. There might be better products and stuff, but I wonder if that's why your aunt would complain. Because I remember fielding a phone call one day where a girl said, hey, I had a consultation with a hairstylist where I asked if I could get my hair dyed like gray. And she said that she didn't recommend it because of like how it looked in like real life. And so I was just wondering, like, and I was like, well, your stylist is busy, but I can try to answer. I know art and visual stuff. She goes, well, would it look good under like a lamplight? And I was like, it still wouldn't look like naturally gray hair. And then she goes, well, how would it look in the sun? And I'm go, it still wouldn't look like naturally gray hair. And then we go through moonlight, starlight, lamppost, gymnasium, fluorescence, incandescence, LEDs, like one by one, every light source. And my answer every time is like, it will either look cooler or lighter, but the problem isn't the actual hue or tone or tint or shade. The problem is just like it will look artificial. You know, like you can, similarly to how like, you know, when you dye your hair, but a lot of the time when people dye their hair black, even when they do it the right way where they fill in with other colors and stuff, like it just still doesn't look like this. You know, it's a similar thing.
Coloring
it's
my hair silver and only going out in the moonlight so nobody realizes it is fake.
It was such a bizarre phone call. Okay, Tyler Catastrophe. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I forgot. Okay, boys. For this one, we're gonna go all the way back to the Dream SMP. I'm not even fucking kidding. Actually, if we want to go even further back,
some managed to get their hair to be SI liverish color that looked nice, but they said it's a bitch.
Yes, it is also a huge bitch to maintain, because if you're not gonna have the stylist wash and touch up your hair every time you want to wash your hair, then you have to know how to get the exact right balance of like blue, purple, neutral, whatever the fuck shampoo, conditioner that you can get your hands on. Wash your hair in ice cold water.
Oh right, how does this lad relate to Dreamzump? Cause I was very into Dreamzump and have never heard of this guy.
Oh, Willow, you're in for a surprise. Okay. Actually, if we want to go even further back as a treat, when I was in high school, I got really into those things where like voice actors read through like Reddit posts, you know, Marshall does stuff, Sorrow TV, and Janie and I used to watch those videos together all the time in the Pokemon Discord we were in. And there's this one video where it's like he's reading through Sorrow TV.
I miss you, Sorrow.
Was reading through r/nice guys, and there's one where the guy's like, "Oh, you self-cleaning fleshlights are the same." So if you ever heard Janie and I call each other that, that's why we've been doing that since I was like 18. Anyway, where was I going with this? Right. Those of you who watch Sorrow TV may remember when he collaborated with a channel called Soot House.
You're okay wherever you went to, Mr. Sorrow.
He said he's doing okay. He posted an update like around a year ago, I think. And Marshall does stuff posted recently too, so that's cool. With Soot House, which was run by, and here's the Dream SMP tie-in, Wilbur Soot and his friends. For those of you who did not watch Dream SMP...
I also miss you, Charlie Soot.
Charlie Soot? Am I blanking on something? The guy from Soot House, or like a... Anyway, for people who don't know who Wilbur Soot is...
Just one of the Soot House guys.
Yeah, okay, I figured. So... For people who didn't watch Dream SMP, I watched Dream SMP a little bit, and I am the same age as Tommy in it, and so I feel a parasocial kinship with that man, where I'm like, he's just like me for real, annoying ass ADHD riddled motherfucker. Like, love that guy. And he got really close with some of the older members of the server, including Wilbur, right? But you'll also remember that when they changed the Dream SMP from being more of a classic SMP to being very like lore-driven, like theater kids wet dream, Wilbur Soot took over the writing, and like every arc was just Tommy's character getting like fucked up, like trapped in oblivion for what for him was 20 years, for everyone else was a month, or like getting tortured or beaten or assaulted in some other way, shape, or form. And obviously Timmy, being a 18-year-old theater kid, was into that shit, was acting his ass off for no reason. Love that for him. But it was one of those things where even I, as a 17-year-old, was kind of like, why? You know, like, that's a little interesting. And like finding out that Wilbur was the one doing the writing, I was like, okay. Now, in isolation, that's just kind of weird, right? I love reading and writing wump fics. I read about Anakin Skywalker getting his ass kicked every other day. It's awesome. And, you know, for some people, for me personally, I've had fan fiction written about me by someone I went to school with, and I didn't like it, but also I was 13. But I know that if I was in Tommy's situation, and my friend was just constantly writing about my OC getting his ass beat and his, like, shit traumatized over and over, I wouldn't really be okay with it. But I was like, you know what? In isolation, also not strictly that. It's crazy, but it's not that crazy. You know what I mean? It's not actually hurting anyone, it's fiction. But in the broader context of things, and I also remember watching one of Tommy's like IRL live streams. I think it was him, Tubbo, and Wilbur out somewhere. And Wilbur just keeps biting him. just like on the like on camera as part of the live stream, just keeps biting him. And I was like, that's interesting. Keeping in mind, this is after a lot of people praised him for when Tommy wanted to meet with Wilbur, because Wilbur was the only person other than Tubbo and like Jack Manifold, like the Brighton boys, right? Who, like, the Brighton boys as in people who were underage. Wilbur was like one of the few people that lived local to him. That was in the Dream SMP, and he wanted to meet with him, and Wilbur was like, you're bringing your father, you're a 17-year-old boy, and I'm a grown-ass man. And a lot of people, like, praised him for that, and I was like, yeah, that's responsible. Cool. But then, obviously, he didn't ask for the dad to chaperone every single time, and he was just biting the kid. Teeth, arm, chomp, go. Weirded me the fuck out. And then a clip that I also thought was kind of weird at the time, but that everyone was like, oh haha, they're like brothers, they're messing around, because I have sisters and we used to throw shit at each other and hit each other with toy lightsabers and Nerf guns and shit. There's a difference between like, oh no, my big sister's gonna like, obviously brothers are different, I'm not gonna deny that, but, you know, there's a big difference between, oh no, my older sister's gonna beat my ass, and like, oh no, my older sister's gonna beat my ass. There's this one clip where, like, Wilbur walks in the room, and Tommy, like, I only really watched Tommy in it, sorry, and he, like, shoots him with a Nerf gun, and he's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, because Wilbur is, like, coming at him. And it's just one of those things where it's like, you just kind of look at that and you're like, again, I, being the same age as Tommy at all of these points, keep kind of being like, that doesn't feel normal. You know. Anyway, the video that was made about the day that Tommy met Wilbur in person for the first time, the thumbnail is now "Here Comes Satan." So that tells you how that relationship ended up. But yeah, they also started a band called Lovejoy together. The music's actually pretty good. I liked Lovejoy. They looked like they had fun. But a lot of the music was like,
yeah. Speaking as someone with an older brother, it's not. You can tell when they are playing, and you can tell when they are going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm. But like, the words. Anyway, so that's the Wilbur stuff from Dream SMP era. And then we get into Lovejoy, which is a band, but a lot of the music is very self-reporty. It's like, hey, I'm a total piece of shit. Your whole family hated me, and they were right to. And also, I'm a piece of shit boyfriend and a horrible person. Some of it was satire, like the "he's in your bed, but I'm in your Twitch chat." That song's hilarious. There's like a racist joke in it, but it's like, you know, somebody put it out there like, hey, that's kind of like a shitty joke, like it's not even that funny, and he was like, yeah, you're right, and then he just removed it, he being Wilbur, and people praised him for that, and I was like, he just changed the lyrics to something that was funnier. Anyway, but yeah, made Lovejoy. The music was good, I liked it. And then Wilbur got exposed for, and for people who remember what I said 5 minutes ago, this will not come as a surprise, got exposed for domestic violence in the form of biting.
Literally, I liked Lovejoy, but it was also kinda content-wise, and hell nah am I keeping that in the
Who
playlist.
saw that coming? Anyway, ads are coming up. So I am gonna pause the ramble for a little bit. And in the 3 minutes that people are trapped in ads, I am going to draw some. Because I really do need to get my fucking... I really need to get my,
Only bi people consentially chat.
Bro.
Basil, may I bite you?
Yeah. But, like, only sexually.
I mean, not wrong.
Hang on,
You
I'm
got
fucking
it,
stupid.
boss.
Anyway, idea for the sub badges is it starts off hollow, and then when you get to with like dots around it for like the number of months, I don't know exactly what the tiers are on Twitch for that, but I'll look it up. And then when it's been like a full year, the star fills in. Was the idea? Do we fuck with that? I think we fuck with that.
Oh.
Twitch sub badges. Okay. We have 2 month, 3 month, 6 months, 9 month. Oh, wow, that's not even at all. Oh, boy. Although, actually, wait. There's no way I have that many available, is there? Like, I've got to have less, right? Because... Where's sub badges? Emotes? No, that's not the same as sub. Where's the sub badges? We can make it better. I don't know how to get this far. Where's the sub badges menu? Hello? Am I stupid? Ads, business cheering, community subscription, subscriber badges. There we are. Okay. I have access to 2 month. Oh no, the tiers
I
are
think it's nice.
there.
Like we're also making our own little paths alongside you and slowly filling our crystal as we go.
Very cute. But yeah, so I definitely want the lines to be thicker than this, though. How much thicker, though? I think that's good.
Other than our partners, the only things we bit is our VR mom and her camera 3.
Hell yeah, brother!
I will have to go lie down shortly. Got 2 days more of work, and then a month-long sabbatical.
Praying for you, Iron. You got this, buddy. Thank you for stopping by, even in your limited time off. I very much appreciate it. That's actually quite pretty, even though it's very simple. But yeah, and then
have a good eve.
Yeah, I'm thinking because there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 benchmarks before the 1 year, right? So like, let's say
First
this
day
is
has been cool enough to eat for a week.
Ooh.
Excited.
Also, welcome back from ads, guys. I'm gonna try to keep talking as I draw, even though that never goes well, and it'll be super awesome and fun, and everyone will love it. Lovejoy becomes the way that a lot of people know Wilbur Soot, as opposed to, you know, the other shit, like, I really shouldn't try to talk and draw at the same time. I should know better than this by now. Yeah, I think that's a good width. she's 2,000 light years away. Years away. We're not going to talk about the fact that I was early. We're not going to talk about it. Lovejoy kind of becomes the way that a lot of people know Wilbur Soot as opposed to like Dream SMP or Soot House. But, and obviously a lot of people simp for him, including, we're finally here after like an hour, Tyler Catastrophe. Tyler Catastrophe is a bead worker from a state whose, I think it's Oklahoma. And the reason I say bead worker in that tone is because bead worker is a term that is really reserved for indigenous individuals. You guys want to guess what Tyler isn't? Want to take a crazy guess at what Tyler Catastrophe is not? Yeah. So, he's a bead worker from Oklahoma, who has a very interesting infatuation with Wilbur Soot, and is like low-key like known for that. I say that hesitantly, but like basically he's frequently posting online about like, okay, hang on, actually I can't, do you guys want me to like fucking reenact it, or do you want me to show you the videos? Genuine question, because some people because some people don't like the like, jokes aside, like some people don't like the thing where it's like you're clicking around and pausing and stuff, and some people prefer to just be shown the darn thing. So basically
either one works for me, so whichever helps.
It'll just be easier for me to not. Okay, so the guy posts this thing where he's like, I first got a crush on white boy whatever when I heard him giggle in the background of someone else's video, and it was like the angels themselves leaned in to listen, and it's like, what? And then he talks about how he's a one soul at a time kind of person, which, hey, same. Even with like dating apps and stuff, I could only talk to one person at a time, because like my brain is also very like, I'm interested in one person at a time. But saying one soul at a time, the specific words that he said were, no matter how many people tried to get with me, none of them stood a chance. And that's so egotistical, you know what I mean? Like, in a way that I don't think very many people enjoy, you know? It's like a very specific brand of like, I don't know, it's kind of like, that girl that posted like, oh yeah, life as a conventionally attractive lesbian is difficult because men ask you out. But the thing is, like, it's, I think that the problem is saying conventionally attractive, because the moment that you bring up conventional attractiveness, you open the gates for people to be like very, very, very heavily scrutinize fucking everything about your appearance, and it's just a bad idea.
But a white boy giggle does stand a chance, of course.
Yeah.
Clearly. So unbelievably logical.
And then, anyway, so, but then also, Wilbur at one point starts dating a girl named Shelby. Her streamer name is Shovel. She still streams, as far as I know. Talks about, like, post on his Tumblr about, like, can I just say, I do not like Shovel. Can I just say that? If she has 0 haters, then I've dissipated, because even if I die, I'd be hating from beyond the grave. Like, her vibes are rancid. I cannot stand her. You know, for being a woman, probably, and that's kind of about it. And also because she's dating Wilbur Soot. So, also, hang on. So, I think this is the default, and then for 2 months I fill in this dot, 3 months I fill in this dot, 6 months I fill in this dot, 9 months I fill in this dot, and then for 1 year the circles get empty again, but the center of this thing fills in. Yeah? And then, let's say Then the next benchmarks only go to the half years. So, like, there's 1.5 year, 2 year, 2.5 year, and then I imagine it keeps going up by 6 months. I could start adding these things, you know, that I have around my pupils.
For the record, I don't
believe
else. You have to have one for each milestone.
You don't have to, but, like, I wanna, because they're cute. Anyway, and, you know, but basically he very publicly and very frequently, like, heavily sims for Wilbur Soot to, like, a beyond parasocial degree, both in terms of like the original, like, meaning of that term, where it's like, you know, parasocial relationships are a very important part of, like, life and human development and expressing your emotions and stuff like that, you know, like kids thinking that their teachers are their friends is important, because you need to model friendships, what friendships look like as you age, right, to children, that kind of thing. And the reason I say beyond parasocial is because, you know, it's not just like, oh wow, 7th grader has a crush on their teacher, you know, it's like he sincerely was like, I have a shot with this man. Like, he literally explicitly said, like, I am posting these videos where I am ranting about how in love I am with this person with the express hope that he will see it and ask me out. Except he's not a 7th grader who has a crush on their teacher. He's like a 27-year-old who has a crush on a streamer. Also, coincidentally, he happens to find a dream job in...
Sorry, what was this guy's name again?
Tyler Catastrophe. He also happened to find a dream job out in Brighton, UK, which just happens to be where Wilbur Soot lives. Where Wilbur Soot lives. Fuck me. Where the guy lives. And everyone's like, so what's the story with that? You know when people convince themselves of a lie in real time? There are people in this chat who I know their relationships with their parents involve this kind of thing, wherein a person, like, it's not even that they're not even necessarily lying out of malintent. It's like they legit don't know. Anyway, so the guy initially tells the story and he says, so I got hit by a car and my body was destroyed. And I woke up and I saw on my phone that I had messaged super duper famous UK artist Stuart Semple and told him how much I loved his work. And he replied back to me. And I was like, oh my god, I need to, like, say fuck it and go visit this guy. And so they did decide to go visit Stuart Semple, and later was like, hey, I loved your studio so much. Is there any possibility that I could work at your studio? Now, this could have been like a genuine, like, oopsie, but I'm gonna be honest. Part of me kind of feels like this is like, you know, when you see those people that are, those scam salesmen at, like, malls, and they're really aggressive, and anytime you give them anything that isn't a very, and this is what their sales tactics rely on, anything that isn't a strict no, they say like, oh, but you basically told me yes. That's kind of more of, part of me, I don't sincerely think this, like this is like a theory, but part of me really does wonder if, like, rather than this being a genuine misunderstanding, this was something where he was like trying or like hoping he could pull off a grift, if that makes sense. Anyway, and Stuart Semple says, oh yeah, if you, well, he doesn't say yeah, he says, well, if you make it to the UK one day, let me know, and we can maybe work something out. Which, to me, I personally could have misunderstood, I guess, but it's also kind of like, that's but as like a stronger maybe than it was intended to. But to me, that's very clearly not a yes, right? And more importantly, it's not
a yes.
And more importantly, it's not a start a GoFundMe, sell all of your belongings, turn down other jobs, and burn all your bridges in the United States signal. And that's what Mr. Catastrophe decided to go and do. He went and he burnt all of his bridges and turned down jobs and drained his savings and blah blah blah. So he says. And so as he talks about this story, like on like podcasts and stuff, he gets progressively more and more like aggressive, right? Like he goes from, yeah, he said that like maybe we could work this out if I managed to make it to the UK, and that's so exciting, to like, well, he told me that I had a job and then he stopped being in contact with me, to like ranting on TikTok, being like, fuck this guy. I can't believe he did this to me. He completely fucked up my life. He told me that he had a job lined up for me and then he ghosted me.
To come with from absolutely nothing.
Yeah, like all kinds of stuff. So, all kinds of stuff where it's just like, oh, you're insane. And then he also starts going off about like, oh yeah, and then not only that, but there were other like kind of evolutions of the story too, if that makes sense. Like, you know, he went from like, oh, well, I might have a job in the UK to like, I definitely have a job in the UK, all the way down to the point that I was complaining about, wherein he's like, fuck Stuart Semple, he destroyed my life, I can't believe he did this to me, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me, I can't believe he'd do this to a fellow queer person, oh my god, you know, or what the kids these days call lying. And so, I don't know, it continues to escalate, and it continues to escalate, until finally people start bringing it up, like, to Stuart Semple, and they're like, did you promise a person a job and then not give it to him? Because that is making me, like, reconsider applying to work at the Culture House, which is what the name of his studio is. And he's like, I did not. I told him politely that if he made it to the UK one day, maybe we could talk about it, but I certainly did not give him any guarantees. I certainly didn't say anything that indicates that he should have sold all of his belongings and stuff like that. I wish him the best. But yeah, that's not great. And people... And the thing with that is, like, bro, if I were Stuart Semple, I would have been so much less friendly about that. I would have been like, oh, well, you know, I didn't say this, but like, blah, blah, blah. I would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you're crazy.
OMG, this is exactly the kind of decision that one person we know would come to SDGHJKGD.
I'm thinking of multiple. I think we're thinking the same main one. But anyway, and so this, like, it continues to develop. He continues talking about it. He continues to be very incensed about it. And people are like, okay, so to repeat, you got hit by a car, you DM'd this artist, you decided that you had this job because you want to move to Brighton, UK to be closer to Wilbur Soot. like, let me get this straight. You did all of this for why? And it a lot of it comes back to fucking Wilbur Soot. Which is quite...
That's so insane, dude. GDSHBJSHJ.
Yeah. Which is quite the journey to take. Also, actually, maybe I won't fill in the diamond. Maybe I'll make this 1 year, this 1.5 year, and then this 2 year. Because I actually think that the circles not being filled in kind of makes it look fancier. No. I'll fill it in and then have... Hang on, actually, I can show you. I'll show you in my... I'll show you in my file explorer so you guys can see what it... Wait, so I can see what you guys think. And then I believe is when, the like abuse allegations from Wilbur Soot came out. So basically the TLDR of what happened was that he was like, I like biting people as kind of like a kink thing or as like an affection thing, which, like, hey, that's fair and honestly is pretty normal. Like, that's not exactly insane to me. You know, like, people are weird. We are apes. Apes like biting things. I don't fucking know. But like, he was biting so hard that she was getting bruises and stuff like that. And so, and this is an important detail because of something that Tyler says later. They created a safe word such that if he bit too hard, then he would know. But instead of actually, but the thing is, like, what was happening was, like, every single day she was having to use the safe word. And, like, for people who have not used safe words in any, like, scenario, it's not always sexual. But, like, the point of a safe word is not for the person that you're using the safe word with to push you to the point of needing to use the safe word and then stopping. The safe word is meant to be like a last resort, like for something like this. You know what I mean? Obviously, there are certain dynamics in which, like, safe wording every, like, few minutes as a means of check-in is sometimes regular or preferred by certain people, but that is clearly not what it was meant to be in Shelby's head. And it's clearly not how Wilbur kind of made out to sound like it was going to be used. And it literally got to a point where he was like, they'd be like at a party or something, and he'd be like, wow, look at these bruises I left on her. You'd think I was abusing her or something. Which is like, why would you say that? All that stuff. Wilbur then posts an apology. Actually, hang on, let me read this out. Deadass. She also talked about how he had little to no cleanliness habits of his own. He literally told her to her face that he just waited around for her to do the like cleaning for him and stuff like that. Like, he lived in filth, that kind of thing. Anyway, In the past week, a series of allegations have been made over my conduct from an ex-girlfriend. I want to emphasize that, although I feel it fair to offer my perspective, this person's feelings are completely valid. I've taken my time sharing this statement as I want to process and respond respectfully and with the hope to gain a deeper understanding of the situation. Hasn't apologized. During our relationship's final months, I regrettably became slobbish, disrespectful, and selfish. These actions caused a lot of pain to my ex-girlfriend, and I've since sought therapy to address these behaviors, making significant lifestyle changes to rectify my past actions. Hasn't apologized. I have come to realize how much my past behavior hurt this person, but I truly compassionately believe I have made great strides from the person I once was and hope I can continue to grow on this trajectory. Still hasn't apologized. The allegation of abuse, particularly in the form of biting, deeply shocked me. Here's where we get into it. Here's where we get into the inevitable part where the guy goes, yeah, you know, I guess I wasn't that great of a person, but I wasn't a bad person. Ooh, gotcha. Throughout our relationship, I understood from our numerous conversations and text message exchanges on the subject that this behavior was consensual, playful, and reciprocally enjoyed. For people who aren't fluent in internet apologies like I am, because I've been following makeup drama since middle school, the mention of text messages in that little text blurb,
in my defense,
absolutely,
I am actually really awesome compared to how shitty I was, and they should have appreciated that more.
Truing. Yeah, for people who aren't fluent in internet bullshit, the mention of text messages, it was absolutely malicious.
Love how I wasn't that bad and I've grown already but will continue to do so. Loud incorrect buzzer on all three, and not I'm sorry.
Yeah, like, because what that means is that people are inevitably going to grill both parties for screenshots of these conversations, and Shelby will say, I don't want to do that, and then Wilbur will go, well, I'm being respectful of her, and I'm not gonna post screenshots if she just wanted me to post screenshots because I'm such a good guy. And then his fans are gonna fucking slob on his knob for it. But like, really what it is, and then they go, oh, well, Shelby doesn't want to post the screenshots because she knows it looks bad. So that's red flag number one. Second thing that is, in my opinion, definitely malicious, and Shelby pointed this out on a live stream, was he said, I understood that this behavior was consensual.
Okay, slob on his knob is amazing.
I picked it up from Willow, actually. But like, anyway, I understood that this behavior was consensual. She never claimed that the behavior wasn't consensual in the first place. She very clearly said, yeah, I consented to the biting. I thought it was fun and playful. It just became not fun and playful. And again, reminder for those of us who know, and new fun fact for people who have stayed 20 feet away from anything even vaguely kinky sounding, which is so valid, but it is relevant to the conversation. Safe words revoke consent. And not only that, but, and this is a thing that I see in like fan fiction a lot, where people are just having like characters are just having like normal sex and they establish a safe word, and it's like, okay, the reason that you use a safe word is because you are agreeing that saying like, no, stop, ha ha ha, is like, no, stop, ha ha ha, and not like, no, stop. A safe word is an alternative to a normal no, stop. You know what I mean? And so like, I don't know if Shelby's elaborated on this, but part of me also kind of questions that, of like, what necessitated a safe word instead of him just backing off when she says no, stop? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if she agreed to a safe word, like, maybe she thought she agreed to saying like no, stop as part of the playful thing. But like, also like, sometimes people
like,
that
bro, two parties consenting to play airsoft is nice and fun until the other person full auto two.
But also
way.
like, and this is pure speculation, I don't sincerely like believe this or like think this, blah blah blah, but like, I don't know, there are stories of a more experienced party introducing a less experienced party to something like safe words, like maliciously. You know what I mean? like, oh, instead of a normal no, you have a special no. And it's like, oh, but I still like the normal no. It's like, no, this one's better because it's more explicit, but it's not more explicit than a normal no unless you explicitly agree that normal no is no longer a normal no. You know what I mean? Like, a safe word is not inherently more explicit than just saying no or stop. A safe word is a different means of saying that if you want to do other things with those words. You know what I mean? Or a safe word is a substitute. It is not a better or an upgrade. It's just a different thing, right? And so, like, I don't know. I side-eye that, personally. Anyway, so he... Anyway, Tyler Catastrophe posts a video wherein he declares that he does not believe that Wilbur Soot is an abuser because his apology seems genuine. He hasn't apologized. We're not even done, though. Okay. Continuing reading. I truly believe those personal message exchanges, again, holding the thread of posting screenshots over her head, reflect mutual affection and understanding. Out of respect for her, I choose not to publish them, and I emphasize my perspective is not shared to diminish or invalidate anyone's feelings. Instead, I share it in the hope that I can offer a genuine, fair, and relevant insight into my understanding of the situation. While I may perceive our interactions differently, I recognize that this person has processed and expressed feelings of hurt. I want to extend my sincerest apologies for any pain that I caused. I'm fully committed to understanding and addressing her concerns going forward, except for apologizing. I hope my perspective sheds light on the situation without detracting from its message. I am dedicated to earning and maintaining the trust of those around me and hope I can be held to these high standards I wish to attain and maintain. Like, yeah, so, but again, reminders. Oh, right, but in adding the thing of, like, oh, well, I thought everything was consensual, is successfully, and I think this was done on purpose, successfully changed the conversation from was what he did bad to was what he did consensual. The answer is yes, like, for the setup of it, right? And because the answer is yes, because people asked that question, and the answer to that question was yes, people then assumed that Shelby claimed that it wasn't consensual. But that's not the claim that she made. The claim that she made was that she consented, but then she later revoked consent, and that revocation was not respected. Repeatedly. And so it completely turned the conversation on its head away from, like, the, like, manipulation that took place, or at the very least, the gross misunderstanding of boundaries at hand, to, well, she agreed to it. Which, because of course it did, because even without the man in the situation putting something out like that, or any person who's ever been a victim of anything has dealt with that, of like, well, you technically agreed to this, or you technically agreed to that. It's exhausting. So that's super cool and fun. I just felt so bad for her, you know, like, I don't know. I felt so bad. But, right. And Tyler Catastrophe posted a video being like, oh, well, I don't think he's an abuser. I think that he, this is ridiculous. I was raised as a woman. Tyler Catastrophe is a trans man. I was raised as a woman and have transitioned to a man, and I am aware that oftentimes men are not held to the same standards of cleanliness that girls are, and because of that, a lot of the time, they are slobbish because they genuinely don't know better. And it's one of those things where it's like, is that technically true? Yes. Does that have fucking anything to do with what Shelby was talking about? No. Like, he wasn't like kind of messy or kind of gross. It wasn't even just like trash littering the floor and things smelling. It was like bug infestations, enough grime built up on a shower that you could not see the tiles, and explicitly looking her in the eyeballs and telling her that he never cleaned because he just waited for her to show up and do it for him, you know? And again, even the part where his apartment had a bug infestation and there was enough grime on his shower that you couldn't see the tiles, that in itself isn't a moral failing. It's the part where he looks her in the face and he explicitly tells her, yeah, literally part of my routine now is I do not clean because I am just waiting around for you to come in and do it for me. You know? Like, that's where the real problem lies, right? So, bruh, also, hang on, I'm trying to think and talk at the same time. Let's see. On top of all of this, Tyler Catastrophe is still talking about how he needs to get out of Texas and he needs to get to Brighton. And there's a broad series of posts that he's made, like on Tumblr and stories he's told on TikTok about why Texas is so bad, including some great hits like, oh, an elderly black man hit me with his car today. I'm really glad it was me and not another white person, because any other white person probably would have called the police, but I didn't. And it's like, why would you say that? Or there's a mineral called kunite, and for people who don't know, that word, when you take the first syllable of it on its own, that can refer to raccoons, but it can also be a slur for black people, because you had raccoon dogs, take away the first syllable, who would normally be hunting raccoons, but sometimes people would send them after black people in the Deep South or anywhere, and they would say, "Oh, they're just hunting raccoons," when obviously that's not the only thing that's what's happening.
Want $100 for being so kind.
So that's, I don't know why I went into the full fucking etymology of the slur, but that's that. Anyway, but it's Kunite, not the other spelling. And he posts the TikTok being like, why would they name this mineral Kunite? My lily white ass should not be saying words like that. And it's like, why are you what? Like, yeah, it sounds kind of similar, but so does the word raccoon. If you don't feel weird saying the word raccoon, why do you feel weird saying the word kunite, which is completely unrelated and is obviously the name of a mineral? You know, that kind of thing. And why would you post a whole 30-second TikTok where you're like, oh my god, I'm too white to be saying stuff like that. Like, oh my god, I'm so innocent and not racist. Like, I can't even stand saying a word that sounds a little bit like a slur. Oh, you know, it's like, brother, chill.
Shutting down Pokemon, the second Coconut turns up.
It's like, what are you talking about? And then, let's see, what was the other thing? Also talked about how, remember the thing I said earlier about how he claimed to be a bead worker, and how that's a term usually reserved for,
I'm not racist. I just think about race all the time.
Yeah. Now, it is not unreasonable. Am I telling the story coherently? I'm definitely jumping around more than I was last time I tried talking about all this, but it's okay. It's entirely possible that he started making bead jewelry.
Yes, definitely.
And just started using the term bead worker.
Good enough. Because
that sounds intuitive, right? Maybe he just doesn't know that that's the term usually reserved for indigenous artists, right? Well,
finding a way to be so unracist you get all the way back around the circle into
so far left
again.
You went right. Yeah, classic. He also claimed to be Two-Spirit. Now, I've heard different things from different Native Americans here in the Appalachia. I don't know about Native Americans elsewhere. I've heard from some Native American people here that two-spirit is complete bogus, and that's never been like a real native thing, that's kind of like a thing that like white people made up. I have heard some people say like they know of like other indigenous communities that do legitimately have like two-spirit traditions that date back generations. It just hasn't reached them. I've heard some people say that
from what I've seen, I think it's tribe
yeah, and then I've heard other people say that the reason that they think that other people have said that they think it's complete bogus is because obviously the indigenous tribe didn't actually use the term two-spirit. But basically, so in this case, what I'm going to define two-spirit as is the Anglican umbrella term for Native American traditions that vary from tribe to tribe, that may or may not exist, that may or may not involve like describing people of non-binary genders. The idea of two-spirit that usually gets sent around, and the reason it's called that, is the idea that people that don't feel that they identify with one gender or another have two spirits within them, and they are expressing both, and they have like a specific like role within their tribe because of that dynamic. But again, obviously it varies from tribe to tribe. And I've heard different things from different people of different tribes. So like if anyone, I just wanted to cover all those bases in case somebody's like, in case there's anybody here who's like, that's complete bullshit. And I'm like, well, it might be for you, but there are places where it's a legitimate thing. Anyway, he at several points claimed to be two-spirit, which is definitely only an indigenous thing. So, like, what's up with that? So then the question kind of became, so is he going to claim indigenous heritage? Which is entirely possible. A shit ton of Native American people look white as fuck because colonialism. Surprise! Or is he gonna come up with some other bogus answer that makes completely no sense and is totally incoherent? You guys are never gonna guess which one he picked. His reasoning for referring to himself as two-spirit was that he was born in Oklahoma, which is, in his words, arguably the most indigenous state. Because of the number of times the land has been stolen and given back and restolen from its people. A place's indigenousness is not defined. What indigenousness, whatever the fuck that means. A place's indigenousness is not determined by how heavily or how non-heavily it's been fucking colonized. The fact that his definition of how indigenous a place is was how much it's been fucking ravaged by white people is crazy. Second of all, he said that he feels a connection to the land of Oklahoma, or whatever the fuck state it was, that he felt a connection to the land of Oklahoma because he was born there, that he was born to the land. Tyler, your lily white ass was born to the land because of colonialism. You are the person stealing the land, dog, and so am I. Neither of us have fucking claim to indigenous or native anything, bro. Because we are both sitting on stolen land right now, so I don't know what you're up your own ass about. And then also talked about how he specifically avoids certain like art motifs in his beadwork, still using that word beadwork, because out of respect for the indigenous people in his life. And it's one of those things where it's like, hey, you know, I don't doubt that there are people that say, like, it's totally cool for him to, like, in his personal life, that it's totally cool for him to say that he's a beadworker. But I am also 100% certain that the number of indigenous people that are like very like, yeah, no, don't like that he calls himself that, like, are also very valid. You know what I mean? Like, him getting approval, like pulling the "I have a native friend" thing, it just doesn't work. You know, when there's, especially when it never works. Saying "I have a black friend" never works either, because there's a broader culture at hand that we're at stake, or however you want to word it. You know, it's just ridiculous. And so,
yes, but I do not care what the ones who disagree with me think.
And so it not only gets to the thing of like, well, it's, you know, well, he refers to himself as a beadworker and two-spirit, maybe he doesn't know better. Oh, well, he absolutely knows better on the broader scale. It's just he had one native person tell him, I mean, sure, I guess, and took that as like instant approval. Now, about the beadwork itself, keeping in mind that I don't know jack shit about beadwork. I knit, I crochet, and I know a little bit about like loom weaving, but if we just want to take a look at some of the stuff that he's made, I can't type. This is a mushroom charm that I've personally seen on Etsy that is definitely mass produced. This is actually someone's actual beadwork. And if we want to actually take a look at that,
oh, him.
Yeah. Oh, I can't. Bruh. Okay, whatever. Oh, can I not find actual? And then there's stuff like this where when you look at it from far away, it looks quite intricate, but when you get closer up, a lot of the beads aren't aligned with themselves. Like, a lot of the beads aren't aligned with themselves. A lot of them aren't like flush to each other. The design, yeah, sure, it's cool enough, but the actual craftsmanship at hand is a little bit shoddy. The craftsmanship on this one is quite a bit better. But, you know, also,
I actually know a little bit about him as well, LOL.
You know, can I not? Like, if we want to get in closer, enhance. Oh, you can't see close enough. But basically, I don't know if I'm explaining that super well, but I'm pretty sure y'all all have distinguished eyes. I'm sure you can see what I'm yapping about.
Primarily how fucking gross he is, like dirty.
Yeah, so we're gonna see. Now, I'm sure that some of this is inevitable and arguably even welcome as like a sign of it being handmade, you know? But like, in terms of like, I was about to nitpick at like how these are kind of like scraggly, but you'll notice that not all of these flowers are like complete, right? Like this one, the yellow makes it all the way around, but this one, the yellow is falling down because he hasn't like fully secured the yellow beading into the shape it's meant to be in, you know? And again, I don't know a lot about indigenous beadwork, but hang on. I feel weird looking up just indigenous like that, because just the word indigenous doesn't fucking mean anything, or like just Native American is so broad because there's so many nations and individual tribes within each of those nations that all have different beadwork traditions. But you know, let me look up like beadwork sunflower. I'm curious if that kind of thing is standard at all or not. Like, maybe that's just how you generally do that, but I don't know. These look pretty secure to me, you know? Like, this one isn't laying completely flat, but all of these are still in the shape of a flower. And these aren't even all from like indigenous artisans. These are just other product listings from like fucking Etsy and stuff, you know what I mean? And it's like you couldn't bother to secure these like even a little bit. Look at this one. This one's drunk and needs to go home. That kind of thing. And how much is this selling for? $84? Oh, but the add-on bracelet's only $9. What a steal. Okay. Sorry,
Oh,
I
no
knew
way.
his prices were crazy. Okay, anyway, getting back to the V-Work. As you can see, his prices are fucking insane. Not only that, but the way that he often modeled his stuff in order to list it for sale was by filming thirst traps while wearing them. Multiple clients have reported receiving their jewelry with chest hair tangled in them. Oily, greasy. Smudged, cracked, just overall kind of gross.
That is absolutely repulsive.
Yeah. So let's see.
Oh yeah, people say he didn't wash before or was the stuff after he wore them either.
Yeah, like before you send something to a client, you need to clean it. Special edition chokers. And now that's not to say that, like, you know, whatever. So not only is he selling these at egregious prices when you can buy these things from local indigenous artisans for much cheaper, and be actually paying respect to the art of and tradition of beadwork. This one looks like a vagina. You also might get it with chest hair fucking attached. Also, as far as I know, he still to this day has not fulfilled orders from August of last year. But these listings are still fully up and available. Like LOL. So additionally, now, okay, this one I actually feel kind of weird about. So there was another drama where he was selling a painting for an absurd price, like $3,000
for $599.
Yep. He wanted to sell this painting for like $3,000, and it's like it's not even that good. Now, $3,000. And the thing is that but the thing that I feel kind of like weird about on this one is that, so he didn't take the reference photo, for this painting. Somebody else took the photo and he asked for their permission to use it. And then now he's trying to sell it for, wait, sorry, 300,000? Right, because some art critic told him that 30,000 or 3,000 or whatever was charging too much, and so he added a couple of zeros just to show that art critic who's boss. But yeah, so now I just, not only is it crazy to this painting isn't realistic, but it also isn't really clearly in any particular style. So it to me, it's very bold to take somebody else's photo, keeping in mind that, like, this wasn't just like a casual photo, right? Like, this is like, the photo is very well composed, the lighting is well done, it was taken at a specific time. You know what I mean? Like, photography is its own art. It's very interesting to try to recreate an image almost one-to-one, not quite get there, and then try to sell it for hundreds of thousands of dollars without even contacting the person that you got the original photo from, right? It's different if it's even if it's a stock photo, you're supposed to pay for the license to the stock photo. Now, a lot of people, because, licensure is a separate thing, but, like, in terms of, like, it's just a courtesy, right? It's just a courtesy. Hey, Thank you for allowing me to use your photography, your art, as a reference for my art. As a heads up, I am going to be selling my recreation of your art. You know, it's a very simple thing to do. But he didn't do that. And also, this price is insane. And also, it's not that good. It's not that good. Similarly, at one point when ranting about the Stuart Semple thing, he said, and my work is better than his anyways, which is really interesting because then he held up this. Now, actually, wait, hang on. What if we do like an actual like art crit of this? I like actually kind of curious. Oh, I accidentally closed the window. I sure did. Yeah. What if I? Now, if I were to make this worth an amount of money, like if I wanted to feel comfortable selling this, let's see what I would do. So, okay, first thing I do want to say is like, I don't want to do the thing where somebody's like, I'm doing art crit, and then they actually just like completely change the drawing, you know? So we'll do our best to pay respects to what it was that he was trying to do here. The problem being that, so, okay, this is intermediate art, like beginner, intermediate, beginner, intermediate, right? And so what that means is that it's kind of difficult to go over it without maybe accidentally drastically changing some things, not because there's anything like strictly bad about being at that level, but just because he hasn't like left a lot of things. He hasn't left a lot of cues for like what exactly it was he wanted to like achieve. You know what I mean? If that I don't know if that made sense. But okay, how about we start by just like adding shadows like here, right? You know, there's naturally going to be a shadow under the brow. And like kind of around the nose, right? Also kind of on the sides of the forehead. Like you just generally want some shadows there. And also here, you can see that there's like an implication of like a gaunt face. And I think eye wrinkles here. So I guess we'll also add some stuff there. And maybe even make them even darker just to see how dramatic we can get that. And then like you know what I mean? Like it, and this is like, do you see how much more of like that just adds some like almost like more of like a mood to the overall idea of it, like, or at least it kind of makes it look more distinctive in that it's not just line art, you know? I've definitely pushed the darkness around the eyes a little too much, but it's like at least that means there's something there, you know? Like that's because again, and I'd say that
a lot more shaped and dramatic.
Which looks like he was going for it. Yeah, like I don't. If you think that your skill set is worth tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars, you should at least be adding one layer of shading. This is one layer of shading I added in like 30 seconds. And that's without taking into account like other light sources. I don't know. Let's say that the light source was coming. Let's say like the light source was coming from under, you know, or something, and we wanted it to kind of, you know, like a flashlight's coming out from under or some shit. I don't fucking know. You know?
Oh, hi ads.
Ah, rip. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, it takes a few, and obviously I'm working digitally and that changes things, but even then, it's like...
Did I say I was going eep yet?
I was about to say, it's been like an hour. But yeah, also, the eyes here, stained glass idea is cool. It doesn't look like glass, though, because there's no texture. Glass has texture. You know, take like a pencil and just like, you know, that kind of thing. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's just like, just kind of trying to make the point that like the changes that he could make to actually make his art like really sellable, not for the prices that he's trying to sell them, but to make them sellable, period. He could do pretty easily if he was as skilled as he claimed to be. Oh, but Basil, how skilled does he claim to be? When talking about his beadwork, he has claimed that it's so one of a kind. And he knows that for a fact because despite having so many Indigenous friends, being so connected to his Indigenous community, he hasn't found a single person that makes beadwork like his. His beadwork is just that unique. We all saw the same, yeah, we all saw the same beadwork. It's not. Just point blank, it's not. This is like literally looking at
Google search dog.
Literally looking at this whole page, the most unique thing on this page is this one, which is, I mean, I haven't fact checked it, but as far as I know, has been made by an actual Indigenous person. And he said that, oh yeah, the creator says, I've never seen a single piece of jewelry over $15. I assume he means at like a market. And yeah, multiple people have said that, like, yeah, at somebody literally commented like word for word, like you would get laughed out of like the powwow market section if you showed up trying to sell your shit for that much of a price, because that's ridiculous. Because it is. His paintings he tries to sell for similar prices, and I don't know, but it's just one of those things where it's
free to
I guess it's just one of those things where like the Wilbur Soot part is so like not interesting compared to the rest of it, because oh yeah, and then also he also repeatedly claimed, oh my god, I didn't even talk about the fucking audition video. Fuck. This is how scrambled my brain is right now. Okay. He got in a car accident. He said Alexis hit him, his whole body, with the car. And it prevented him from being able to do anything but beadwork. Beadwork was apparently the only thing that he could do without injuring himself further. I call bullshit. If you can do beadwork, you can do embroidery, sewing, knitting, crochet, tatting, Tunisian crochet, embroidery, all sorts of shit. All sorts of shit. And then also made the claim that he was unable to sing afterwards. That he was completely unable to sing, and it took him years to get his voice back. Now, here's the thing. there is a difference between not being able to sing as much or as well as you want to and being completely unable to sing. Right? Big difference. I've dealt with rib inflammation, and this is not a behavior I encourage. I really shouldn't have done this, but I've dealt with rib inflammation that was so bad that it hurt to raise my arms above my head. Not because of an injury or anything. My body just does that. My sternum, when I was still pushing myself through like athletic activity, was like would bruise from inflammation. Like my freshman year of college, and I still practiced the flute like 2 hours a day. It's just that like that was like kind of my limit, you know what I mean? As opposed to the multiple hours that I would have practiced like in high school and stuff, right? But I can still play well because it's not like the technique goes away when I'm in pain. It's just significantly harder, right? But I wasn't entirely unable to play the flute or sing. I just wasn't able to do it as often, and also, yes, sometimes not as well as I would like to, right? But that's not the same as being entirely unable to, for years. Now, being totally unable to sing or speak after getting a rib injury, yeah, totally makes sense. But for years, losing your voice, I find that a little hard to believe, considering he was able to talk in all of his former theater kid glory. You know what I mean? Like, there's videos from what he said was like, I don't know, like half a year after the accident, which is supposedly still in the time where he was completely unable to sing a peep, where he's talking the way that I'm talking right now, where he's not just talking, he's projecting, he's inflecting. All of the amount of air and like support that I'm using right now is, I don't know, like 70% of what I need to sing. You know, if you were at a point where you fully physically could not sing, you would probably be talking more like this so as not to aggravate things as the air comes up through your body and where you're engaging like fewer muscles and stuff. Like, you just wouldn't be talking like this because this is a very engaged voice and it's engaged in the same ways that you're engaged when you're singing. If that makes sense. And like, I don't doubt that he wasn't dealing with a shit ton of other injuries and disability and that he isn't still dealing with chronic pain. I fully believe that. It's just that I lost my voice in a car accident, and Lovejoy is the one that gave me the courage to get it back. It's like, that's very poetic. That's suspiciously poetic. And also there's straight up videos of him like full on singing from the periods of time where he claimed that he couldn't, like, at all without injuring himself, just like on the internet. And then also though, you know, he's not a pro singer. But I don't know, there has also been times when people pointed out, like, well, he claims to be a professional singer at times, or people have pointed out, like, hey, that's not, like, the greatest singing, and he's like, well, it's because I was in the car accident. And it's like, that could be true. But then when he's posted videos of what he sounded like singing prior to the car accident, they sound exactly the same. That kind of thing. But that gets into, that's like speculating on injury and stuff, but like it's just like, and again, I'm not saying that he wasn't injured at all or that he isn't disabled. I'm just saying that, like, I lost my voice except for the part where I can talk and yell and scream and rant. I just couldn't sing. And Wilbur Soot, what was the exact verse? He said, you dragged he said about Wilbur Soot, as if speaking to Wilbur Soot, how dare you drag my passion for music out of the depths of the ashes after I spent years burying it because it was too painful to think about? You know, I don't know. I don't know. The way that I see it is, it would kind of be like if I talked about like my stuff and how like I decided not to be in college anymore. And instead of and the specific way I chose to phrase it was like, yep, lost my ability to play the flute. Totally. Just gone. And I just didn't address all the other shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that it genuinely doesn't make
some shitty
sense.
Line ADI Shankar would write for the Netflix Devil May Cry anime.
Like, it's not... Like, it's if it was... Like, this isn't the usual, like... Oh... You say you need a wheelchair, but you can walk sometimes. It's like, no, he's not just like walking and talking a little bit. Like, again, he is using the same muscles, the same amount of air. He is like 70-80% of the way to singing. If he was actually to the point, you know what I mean? It's, to me, he's not this isn't like claiming to be an ambulatory wheelchair user and then getting yelled at for walking. This is like claiming to be quadriplegic and getting yelled at for walking around. Because if you're quadriplegic, you can't walk around. There we go. Like, claiming to be quadriplegic when you're not is fucked up, right? Like, that, I took way too long to explain that. Anyway, at some point, he posts a video where he says, I don't know if Lovejoy is looking for a second vocalist, but I am crazy enough to ask. And he just fully sings an entire one of Lovejoy's songs. Straight to the camera. And it was fine. The vocals were fine. Like, they weren't bad. Some people said they were really shit. They weren't really shit. They were fine. Yeah, and then, like, there's parts in the instrumental. And, you know, if you're attempting to get an in with, like a band that, you know, performs live a lot, which Lovejoy did and still does, I feel like you would really want to, like, show that you are capable of maintaining a stage presence as a vocalist during instrumental sections. When he just, like, talks at the camera, like, he's like, da 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 da. I hope you know how serious I am. I'm dead serious. I love the song. You know, like, quirky millennial shit. But it's like, if you're gonna be delusional enough to post something as a quote-unquote audition, could you at least, like, pretend to be, like, a little, like, serious about it? You know? And also, he posted another video, which is one of the weirdest videos I've seen, and is something... Complete aside, one time, my freshman year, when I was still a music major, there was a woman who...
No, if you're auditioning, you respect the full song, you don't just respect the part you are in.
Exactly. There was a older woman who joined our class who had taught herself a lot of music stuff at home, and that's fantastic. The problem was, she walked into a room of people who had all been studying music academically for at least one semester, if not 3 at that point, because it was freshmen and sophomores. At least one semester, if not 3. And for some people, their whole lives. And she came in and tried to, like, explain music to us. Like, and she'd be wrong. Somebody would say, like, okay, we all know the circle of fifths, but just to go over it, can somebody please explain it to us? And it's like, it's a way of like showing the relationship between keys. When you go clockwise, the intervals are major fifths. When you go counterclockwise, the intervals are major fourths. It's a very good visual way to explain the relationship between different key signatures. And then she raises her hand and she says, well, actually, the interesting thing about the circle of fifths is if you, or she would say the same thing that we just said as if we hadn't just said it, which I hate when people do that. Like, well, the interesting thing about the circle of fifths is if you look at it backwards, it's actually the circle of fourths. And we're like, yeah, we just said that. The interesting thing about the chromatic scale is, she said something really weird one day. What was it? The interesting thing about the chromatic scale is that it doesn't actually cover every possible tone. And it's like, No, it doesn't cover every single possible hertz frequency, but it covers all of the 12 semitones that we commonly use in Western music. And this is fucking JMU. Half of us are going to be middle school band teachers. Like, we're just talking about standard old boring old European classical music theory. We're not talking microtones right now, but we know what they are. Just we're not talking about them right now in our music technology 101 class, you know? This wasn't even a music theory class, you know, that kind of thing. To me, the stuff that Tyler Catastrophe said is in that genre, you know, of things where it's like, I know that you sincerely think that what you're saying is, like, a big statement, but it's not, and it's also kind of wrong in a way that I don't even know if I can explain to you because you aren't listening to me about the fundamentals of the situation that we're in. You know? So one of the things that why am I even on this screen? I'm not doing anything. One of the things that he said that I found, like, oh god, you know, the grad student or the doctorate student in the flute studio, one day was talking about how the class that he was teaching, was you know, music 101 or music 200 was it may as well be music 101, but it's music 200 was the class name, I think. Was it? No, it was music 100. And he's looking at the students, and at the end they're supposed to give a presentation, like, describing a piece. I think most people in here did, like, middle high school band, or, like, might remember stuff from, like, elementary school music stuff, but, like, I think we all know that a piano, or a P, means quiet, right? It's the dynamic marker for quieter volume, or softer tone, or gentler, or something like that. He pulled up, like, an entire thing of sheet music and said, this is a really great example of a mezzo piano, which is, like, sort of quiet, or, like, medium soft. And the grad student was like, I literally just had to stop and be like, what? You know, and this is after a full semester of being in a music class. That kind of genre of thing where it's just like, we got to take you back to the beginning, bud, because the thing that you said doesn't make any sense. Anyway, getting back to the thing that Tyler Catastrophe actually said, he was talking about Lovejoy, and he was like, Lovejoy, I love a lot of bands, but I don't always get the urge to be in a band. But Lovejoy, I really get the urge to be in the band, because when I hear... It literally pains me to say this out loud, because this is such word salad. It legitimately bothers me, and I don't care that that's pretentious, because he's pretentious, and I get to match that. My thing is vocal melodies, and if there's one thing that I think that Lovejoy's music is lacking, it's vocal melodies. And anytime I hear a Lovejoy song, I want to just jump in and sprinkle a little something something in there. Because vocal melodies are my thing. What does that mean? Vocal melodies? What differentiates vocal melodies from any other melody? It's melodies. The inflections that you can add to a vocal melody, you can also add to pretty much any instrument except for, like, set pitch percussion instruments, and even then people can and will find ways to do it regardless. I should show you guys some contemporary percussion pieces. That shit gets crazy. But also, like, then in all of his Lovejoy covers, all of the vocal melody choices that he makes are identical to the ones that Wilbur makes when he performs them. Like, not even just live, like, in the studio recording. And so it's like, well, if your thing is vocal melodies, and you're claiming that what you want to add is a little something something to the vocal melody, why aren't you adding anything? Why are you singing the song exactly as it was written? Like, that genuinely makes no sense. And it's because what he means may have been harmonies, but I doubt that's what he meant. Or I don't even know. my instinct was to think, well, okay, maybe he means like vocal like riffs or like little improvised bits, like the hey, you know, when people talk about how like, oh my god, the singer changed the note, like that kind of thing. But then again, he has uploaded multiple Lovejoy covers that he does not take him seriously, or perform sincerely, where all of his vocal melody, inflection, pitch, tone, whatever the fuck choices are identical to the studio recording. So I don't think he knew what he meant when he said that, actually. Being honest, I don't know if he knew. Anyway.
Okay, this is very off topic, but it's fun to watch people faces while they rant because of how their face changes while talking.
Yay! I got told in high school by someone that my face is a reaction image generator. Especially just because, like, I don't realize the faces I'm making a lot of the time, and then I'll realize, and I'll be like, you know, because like my instinct when I realize I fucked up is to go limp. But yeah, just like, my thing is vocal melodies. That doesn't mean anything. You claim to have been a professional singer. And to be fair, professional does not have to mean classically trained. It doesn't. But dude, like anyway, I have a new idea for the order of this that I've been tossing around in my head. That I haven't been acting on because I've been yapping. Okay, so what if this is...
But by the sounds of it, that's what he implied.
Yeah. So what if this is 1 month? This is... 2 month. Or do I want to do it or like maybe that's 1 month, maybe this is... I'm way overthinking this, but that's okay. What if I make that 2 month? And then I progressively get rid of the... I think it makes a little bit less sense if we look at the dots as like a unit of time, but I think it might look prettier when you see it in order. Worst case, I just swap the order back around. We'll see. Oh wait, there's not a 4 month, is there? I just labeled that wrong. Oh well. Well, that's actually 6 months. This is 9 months. Let me go ahead and rename that file before I forget. If I had $1 for every time Gerard Way wrote a song that started off with a woman yelling in Japanese, I'd have $2, which isn't a lot. But it is kind of funky that it's happened twice. Then this becomes 1 year.
Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb? Oh, was there a song that I skipped fast?
Phineas and Ferb. No.
No. Oh, okay. Just something reminded you of it. How did we get to Phineas and Ferb? What did I what did I say? I can't remember.
You said a line that was very close to a line.
Oh! The 2 nickels thing. Duh. Oh my god, I'm dumb.
MHM. That was not to you, dumb. That was a confirmation for the 2 quarters.
Yeah. I don't know why I say $2 instead of 2 nickels. Okay, but what do we think of this as like a progression? Can I zoom in anymore on this? No, I cannot. Okay, but 1 month, 2 month. I don't know. I feel like what the hollow version is prettier. You know what I mean? And that's kind of why I want this to be the 1.5 year one. But also, that might not make the most sense. You know, going from here to here.
Oh, I like it.
Do you like it? Ignore these two. Because this is what the people of my VTuber's eyes look like. With the 4 curves on the outside. But I don't know. Can I hide that photo of me? Sorry, I was using that as a reference photo for like my own teeth and like the shape my mouth makes when I open my jaw. Makes sense in your head? You like it? Okay. The only thing I might want to do is, oh, you know what? I could just introduce the lines earlier too. Right? Like I could have this be I could have this be 1 year. And that might tie it together visually a little better. Mark. Okay, well, these should be in reverse order, but I do think that ties it together a little better. And then the problem being then I don't really know what to do past the 1.5 year point. I guess that I could add color. Or I could just once you get to the 2 year point, I could just make it an entirely different symbol. Because obviously this comes from the eyes, but after that we could change it to gemstones that go from black to white, or maybe they just get shinier or something. But I can worry about that later. I think for now this is good. Alright, cool. So, alrighty. Let's get these exported. Can I can show this screen without it, like, fucking me over, right? I think I can. Okay. Maybe not that one. Definitely this one. Okay.
Give me my badge, bish.
I will. Fear not. Oh, oops. I'm stupid.
Free badge hippie.
It'll be cool to have a visual representation of how long people have been subbed for. Because I know that, like, because, you know, when people are on gift subs, it's not as consistent. So it'll be cool to see how long my gifties have been subscribed.
I will assert dominance.
Yeah, you've been. How long has it been? It has been almost a year, hasn't it? No, it's been over a year. What am I talking about? Because I got affiliate November 2024.
I'm at 20 months.
Holy shit!
20 months.
That's scary. And I'm not being dramatic at all. Did it not actually download anything? No, it did. Oh, I just have to... do I have to unzip them? Oh! Bruh.
Gifters are at my brain. Oh, you mean me? LOL.
It looks like there might be some weird visual snow around the smallest sizes, but, like, okay. That's fine. I'll just deal with it. Okay. Ah! Thank you, Maddie! That's very sweet of you! Hey! Flair got one, and Goro got one! Ooh, Beans got one! Let's go! I haven't chatted with Beans in a while. I should say hi. Anyway.
Thank you, Medi.
Yeah, thank you so much, Medi.
Medi dub chia huji.
Can I not upload? Do I have to upload these one at a time? You're joking. That's evil. That's literally evil.
Now I can see the badges more Huiwei.